Hello, everyone, my beautiful beloved souls. All right, let's set the intention for our reading for today. We're going to go ahead and just tune in, ask that this message finds those who need it, that when we're watching and listening, we get that aha moment, that confirmation in our body. We feel and know that this message is for us. Or maybe we get it soon and know that it's not. That's okay too. It's not for everyone. We have the intention that this message is going to be that aha for so many people, and they're going to know that the divine is speaking to them directly through this message, and they are so supported in their journey. All right, just clearing the space, connecting with the cards, with the light language for just a moment, and then I will dig in. Hey, Alright, I'm curious. When I was doing that, I saw like a flame. So I'm wondering if we've got this for Twin Flames. I'm going to use the, Island Time Love Oracle first so that we can kind of get a feel for what are we walking into today. What are we walking into? What's going on for this group, for the collective? Okay. Cassette, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. So that is a lot of possum archetype, which is a warrior's moon possum energy, sheep as well. Replaying old mistakes. Peacocks can do this, but not as much. They're very much more in like right now. Oh, this is interesting though, because we have the golden mirror. I hate to say, but peacock archetypes tend to be, they have that kind of narcissistic energy a lot of times. And it's a shame because not always, it depends on how far they are in their healing, but it's this energy of, I believe that I have to be perfect in order to be loved. And so there's like, I can't say that I'm wrong. I can't admit that I'm wrong. I can't admit that I did something wrong. I can't admit that your feelings are valid, because that's going to make me mean that I did something wrong. And like, I'm so much conditioned that I have to be perfect in order to be lovable. Like it's really hard for them. And so it creates this like toxic energy. I can't diagnose someone with any type of personality disorder. I'm not going to try. But I can just tell you about how certain archetypes kind of play out. So, all right, it looks like definitely working with possums, sheeps, peacock. Dragons do this a little bit, but not as much. The golden mirror is a self-absorbed, narcissist, one-sided relationship, love bombing. And then the sword and the rose, clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection. So what I feel like is happening, we have a group here that they're starting to get out of this, like this veil is what I'm getting. Almost like the smoke is clearing. They're starting to see things a little bit more clearly. What I'm seeing is like these energies started in childhood. So we had someone, maybe a mother or father, caregiver, someone who was kind of in that narcissistic energy. Again, I'm not going to say that anybody is, because I can't do that, but maybe like in that, we know what that energy is, right? So maybe someone in that energy were very critical. This would definitely create some possums and sheep, even peacocks, because there's this energy of like, for the possums, it's like, I don't know what to do. I feel like everything I do is wrong because I'm being overly like criticized. And so now I shut down, I freeze, right? I don't know how to move forward. I don't know what to do. The sheep are constantly trying to like figure out like what do I do in this situation to be most accepted, to be seen as the most acceptable. And then the peacocks are going to be in this energy of they just get defensive and grumpy and upset when they feel that they're not they haven't done right, so they lash out. The other's more shut down. We have like the peacock is one of the overactive archetypes. Those tend to lash out. It's flight or fight, so those are the fighters. And then we have the flight, which are the underactives, and the sheep and the possum. They're gonna be those like shutting down, ghosting, that kind of energy there. Okay, but someone had dealt with a narcissist, and it's interesting, or someone who had that behavior. Okay, it's interesting because I have with that one the Queen of Wands, and for those that watch and follow, you know that the Queen of Wands represents someone dealing heavily with their witch's wound. Okay, this one is upright. I'm feeling that probably is connected to a mother figure, a female, or it could be a masculine who just really didn't know what true masculinity was when we were growing up, or it could be something that's going on now. So take what resonates, okay? Take what connects. With this cassette, so the outdated thinking, we have the Fool in reverse. So it's like this is either it makes me act impulsively, which would be like the peacocks, they're very impulsive, or this makes me like afraid to do anything, which again would be like that sheep or possum energy. So it's like we're replaying these failures, we're replaying these old wounds, these old hurts, all right? Really kind of stuck in this, and it's making us, or it has made us, because I feel like we're moving out of this energy from what I'm getting, almost like start to see through some of these unhealthy narcissistic behaviors that have been coming at us. So it's kind of like, I still feel like there's a lot of confusion, but with the Sword and the Rose here next, there definitely is this like movement of the Death card with that. So there is this like death and rebirth energy here, where it's like I'm having to kind of have this honesty with myself about kind of what really happened. We do this a lot. If you've ever heard someone when they talk about like their childhood, especially if they've had a pretty abusive childhood, and they kind of like make jokes, or they're kind of like, it wasn't a big deal. But it's like hearing it from the outside, you're like, oh my God, right? So it's like, whoa, like you really don't even realize how traumatic that was because it was just so normal, right? That's kind of the energy that I'm getting, where it's like in the moment when you're in it, you're just kind of like, well, I just survived. I don't know. Like, it's just what was normal to me. But now I feel like there's this awareness that, like almost like facing the truth, like facing the hurt and the trauma and this wounding, and I'm getting chills. So it's like a lot of people are kind of coming to terms, like they're not able to kind of deny this anymore. Okay, so let's see I'm gonna see what's going on here. So what's going on with this group? What did they go through? Let's see if I can get more clarity so people can know for sure that this is for them. What is going on? Tell me more information here. Okay, Hierophant. So yeah, like spiritually aware, becoming more spiritually aware here with this situation, like starting to see things from a higher perspective, releasing some of these old like dogmatic beliefs. There might have even been some situations, maybe for those growing up in a really severe, like, sorry, I don't want to offend anybody, but like Catholic or those more like strict religious groups, okay, that are going to have been more oppressive, any kind of organized religion, let's be real. So there's some energy there too with that card. But there is this like awareness of the star. So the star is about hope, but it's also about like stars aligning. So something is happening. I'm feeling like this group is going through kind of like a spiritual awakening. Yes, getting chills with that one. Spiritual awakening. And so there's this like, Four of Cups, like evaluation, reevaluation, like really like seeing things differently through this new awakened awareness. So I say this a lot, and I teach this with one-to-one clients a lot, where when we're going through healing, it's really important to allow ourselves to exist simultaneously in both our higher dimensional awakened state, our higher consciousness, and this version of us that's healing. Okay, so we allow those to both exist instead of like spiritually bypassing and be like, no, you shouldn't even be here because I need to be all in this energy, or allowing the wounded part to just completely overwhelm and consume, and we are only acting on triggers and unconscious beliefs and subconscious beliefs and all of this kind of low dimensional energy. It's like we need to allow both to exist simultaneously and allow this higher version of our consciousness to bear witness to this wounded version of ourselves, and allow it to kind of be its own coach, allow it to be its own support. And so I feel like this is kind of what this group is moving into, is like this new level of awareness. So Wheel of Fortune here with this Hierophant. So something has happened, okay? You have had some type of karmic connection. So this could be like aunt, uncle, it could be a partner that's come in, it could be someone that maybe you just dated for, I don't know, a week or two, it could be a friend, coworker, but there's been some type of situation that has happened for this group that was definitely like a soul agreement. Oh yeah. We have the Devil card here with this, like the stars aligning kind of stuff. This is reversed. So the Devil reverse, this is like releasing these very dark, like limited beliefs around, what I always get from this is like, I don't like using certain words on lives and stuff. I feel like it's flagged by Big Brother or whatever, but like intimate abuse, we'll say that. So like a need for healing around that, a need for healing around like a sense of self and how we show up in the world, like freeing ourselves from these like false ideas, false beliefs that have been, wow, this is interesting. The word that just came through is like that we have been impregnated with. So it's really interesting. So when we think about impregnation, right, we know there's the egg and the seed, and I don't think I have to like do the birds and the bees for everybody, but you know, we have that, the egg, right, and then we have the implantation of the seed getting fertilized, right? So we have that connection, and then that's how something grows. So it's like even in our brain, we have someone, it's like someone's negative, mean, cruel words are like the sperm. And they go in and they implant, right? They like merge with these beliefs and things that are already in there, and then they grow something new. So this is like these false like thought forms that get projected out, that operate kind of on our behalf subconsciously. Judgment reverse. So with this Four of Cups, so it's like kind of this like reckoning, okay? So it's like we're seeing this. This is really great for whoever's aligning with this, for this group. It's like really starting to be more consciously aware. I do want to say and go ahead and just extend some love and some, I guess, gratitude to this group for the work that you're doing, because it's not just for you, right? It's for the collective. You know, like the more of us that focus on healing, the more of us that focus on transcending these wounds, right? And becoming that higher version of ourselves, we're making the world a better place, right? And God forbid we have to incarnate again. I think I would like to come back to something better, right? So it's like, thank you for being a part of the solution. and doing that. I really honor you in that, because I can really feel that this is a group that is really starting to become conscious. They're starting to see patterns. They're starting to see patterns of how they have been subconsciously standing in agreement with and attracting kind of lower frequency people that are going to kind of mirror back some of these limiting beliefs. And they're pulling out of this state where it's like, oh, I'm just a victim and everyone's mean to me, and instead starting to see, wow, look at how I'm attracting this. And I'm saying this in a loving way, not in any type of like victim blaming. That's more of an empowerment energy right there, right? Where it's like starting to take that look and be like, okay, I'm starting to see this more clearly. Like, good, okay? So this is really, really good, all right? So let's see, what else is going on here? So we're going through this like awakening here. Tell me more about what the collective needs to know about the situation. So it's funny because I'll try to ask specific questions, and the way that I work with spirit, I have a very deep connection as a channel, and sometimes I'll ask specific questions and it's like they refuse. I'll pull out these cards and I'm like, that's not what I'm asking about, because I can feel it, but it's like they have a message that's clearly more important. So they're like, this. I don't know how many people saw that one extended where it was like I literally just kept pulling out the same cards over and over again, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh, okay, I'll finally like lean in and get this message out. It was so funny. I was so frustrated too. I was like, this is ridiculous. It was literally like I would pull them out and I was like, and then putting them back and pulling them out. It was like the same ones over and over and over again. It was wild. Okay. So I've got 3 of Swords here. So whatever happened here with this like karmic connection definitely caused some heartache, heartbreak. It's been hard, okay? So I want to again like honor, just I see you, I hear you, validate you that this situation has been hard. I know it can be so like easy for some to be like, oh, just walk away or just do this and just do that, but you know, it's not always that simple. There's a lot more to it, right? And so it's very multi-layered. So I just want to honor you and your journey with that and recognize and validate the pain that this situation has caused you. I have the 3 of Cups here reversed. So it's interesting because normally it's like 3 of Cups, we're like celebrating, we're coming together. Sometimes this will mean like a third party. I'm not getting that energy just because of what this like 9 of Pentacles next to it, which is also kind of like the, she's like the single like business babe who's like boss babe. She's making the money, she's independent, she's got it going on. So it's like this heartbreak is almost like what I'm hearing is like reactivating a passion for some. It's kind of like getting them to wake up and see, like, I feel like people are seeing how much they have sacrificed in these situations. They've sacrificed so much and kind of put themselves on a back burner. And it's like whatever happened with this karmic situation, it kind of was that deep enough pain that really awakened them to this realization of like how much they've been overgiving and how much they've been sacrificing, and kind of like for what, right? This is what I'm getting energetically wise. It's like, and for what? So it's like we're reactivating this sense of it's time for me to kind of I'm sorry, I'm trying to translate this, like remake myself, reclaim myself, that's not the words. It's like that when someone has like a comeback, anybody like someone help me. It's like that comeback energy is what I'm getting. It's like so they're just ready to step into that energy. This is what's kind of getting activated. And so this was, I hate to say it, intentional, when it comes from like a soul path perspective, where it's like, okay, something needed to come in and kind of shake things up a little bit. Knight of Wands, yeah. So it was somebody coming in. They came in and probably at first this person made us feel like they were on our side. Our friend is what I'm getting. But then it kind of quickly, maybe for some not so quickly, but it started going kind of sour. Like it started showing like, ooh, this person is not exactly what they showed themselves to be. Even some like maybe love bombing energy with that, that quickly ran out of steam. It's like with the Knight of Wands, Wands is the fire, right? So it's like, I get that. It's like the coming in fast and coming in hot. And then it kind of like fizzles pretty fast too, like firework. Okay. So it's like, woo, that's exciting. And then it's like, oh, now it's gone. And now we're like, what's going on with this? So whatever that was, it was like something that came in that felt very hopeful. It felt very exciting, but it just didn't have anything else more to offer except heartache. Yay, right? Fun. Okay, Seven of Wands with this Three of Cups. So it's reversed. So that's like the imposter syndrome kind of energy. So yeah, okay. This is interesting. So those that want to like kind of remake themselves, that are having that comeback, they're struggling with it though, because they're feeling like, maybe because they're a little bit older in life now. I have a feeling that there's a group that they feel like too much time has gone by. Maybe they've reached a certain age. Maybe they've reached a certain point when it comes to like career. So I'm feeling like for some it's like career. They feel like they've kind of like aged out almost. And then I feel like for others, like having been maybe like a stay-at-home mom, taking care of the family, taking care of the kids, taking care of someone else, like they're wanting to go back into the workforce. They're wanting maybe to like reinvent themselves. That's what I was looking for earlier, like reinvent themselves, but they feel like they can't, like they're past their prime or something. This is the energy that I'm getting from this. Or even like when it comes to a relationship, like I want to find this partner, but maybe it's like I'm too old now, like I'll never be able to find love at my age, like something like that, kind of limited. Take what resonates, fill in the gap where you are. I mean, I can't possibly run through every possible scenario, but I try to give examples of kind of the energy. But there is something like that where it's like, I'm not capable. It's what I'm seeing. I've been watching the show The Rookie lately. Really good. I like it. But it's like he's older, right? He goes in and he's like 45 years old as a rookie to be a police officer. And so everybody's like teasing and making fun of him. But he's like reinventing himself, right? And that was like what flashed through my mind, this kind of vibe of like, can I really do this? Yeah, I think the invitation, this is interesting because with the Tower, with this Nine of Pentacles energy, it's like you're going to have to do something to really like shake things up. And I think that's kind of what you're being called into, is like taking bold action, taking bold steps. It's almost like there's a reason that you feel that you've lost time. It's like what I'm hearing is like, you're not wrong. You kind of stayed in a place longer than you should have kind of energy. And so we need to kind of make up some time. So we need some radical action here. For this group, like really taking like bold steps towards the goals, bold steps towards what we're feeling called to do. So I don't know if there's some who are wanting to maybe go into a new career, or wanting to start maybe like their own spiritual business, coaching business, wanting to like get back out there into the career field. There's definitely this call that I'm feeling, kind of almost like a sense of urgency in the body, where it's like, I need to do this. I need to put myself out there. I need for this to happen. And it's like this Tower with this, I keep hearing like radical action, like taking radical action. And that's going to be difficult for those that we were looking at in the beginning. We had the that cassette, which I was saying it's like possum energy, the sheep archetype energy, and maybe even some peacock energy there. So for the possums, that's a challenge because they're going to constantly be questioning, is this the right thing to do? Possums have a lot of trouble taking action. They think a lot about it. They stay a lot of in this energy of like, is it possible? Can I do this? What if it's a mistake? Kind of replaying those dialogues again that were projected onto them to make them think that they couldn't think for themselves. They can't make a decision for themselves. They can't trust their own intuition. So it's difficult for possums to like make the decision to take the action to move. And then for the sheep also, because they're worried that they're going to do the wrong thing and they're going to isolate themselves. They're going to, or be judged. So this is a big fear for sheep archetypes, is that they're going to be singled out. It's kind of like that thing, like if you envision someone like in a corner and everyone's like pointing and laughing, like ha 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 ha, like that's like the sheep's like biggest fear. Like, I don't want to be pointed out. I don't want to be seen as different. And unfortunately, in order to take radical action and to be bold, it does take stepping out of those friend groups, out of those societal norms, taking risks, taking action. So that can be challenging. For the peacock, it's also challenging, not as much because they're used to taking risks, because they really want to show like that I'm successful and I'm good enough and I'm this and I'm that. So it's like they tend to take action, but unfortunately they tend to be very impulsive with the action. And so stuff will happen for a little while and then it kind of crumbles because they can't maintain it. Usually, like if we think about someone who's a peacock archetype, say they're inspired to start a business, they're going to get that business up and going and it's going to be amazing right in the beginning, but it will eventually fail, or they won't be able to grow it because they're not going to be able to keep it staffed. So it's like that kind of concept with these peacocks, because like they're not going to be able to maintain staff because of the way that they treat people. Constantly being on edge and critical and like impulsive and that kind of energy, like they're going to struggle. So they're not going to be able to like duplicate their business and staff it, because they won't be able to keep them. So these are kind of these energies that are being asked to heal. Okay, so if you're relating, if you know that you're a possum archetype, you know that you're a sheep archetype, you know that you're a peacock archetype, it's time to heal those, right? Like we need to do the work to heal. And I know some people have stepped into my Sacred Feminine program and are doing that work, which is amazing. But for those that have not made that decision yet, there's definitely a need to heal this wounded archetype energy so that you can take that radical action towards what you're feeling passionate. So if you're feeling stuck, it's that witch's wound that's there. It's unconsciously, subconsciously playing a really big role in that. Okay, I'm going to stop here because my timer did go off. I'm going to move over into the extended. That's available inside my membership called The Collective. You can access that through the link in the bio or in the description if you're watching the replay on YouTube. Also, there's a free archetype quiz. If you want to learn your witch's wound archetypes, you can start getting an idea of how it's showing up, how to start healing it, how to start being conscious of it. Take the quiz, linked again, either through the bio or in the description. And then, of course, if you feel called to work with me, you can reach out, or you can find that information as well in either of those places. Okay, so for the extended, I want to look at kind of what we're being called into doing more. So we know that we're being asked to take this radical action, but it's like, what is it exactly? What is this radical action that we're being called into? And by doing that, what do we have to look forward to by doing that is really what I want to get a feel for. And then maybe some blockages, like what's blocking and how to clear that. I think it's going to be important. Okay, so for those that want to join me on that, feel free to hop over there and join me inside the collective group, and I will go live in there, and you can interact with that video and ask questions, unlike on the original ones. And yeah, I'll see you over there. For everyone else, I appreciate you. Thank you for spending time with me and sharing your energy. And I honor you for this journey that you're on. It's not for the faint of heart, and I'm proud of you. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.